Hello lovely people, I'm Jack and welcome to Guitar Elevation. Today we're gonna learn how to switch chords faster while we are strumming. Let's do that. Hello again everybody. Before we start, let me just say that even though the tips I'm gonna give here are for beginner guitar students, however, this tip remains the same all throughout your progress, and even if you become intermediate or advanced, it stays true no matter your skill level. So let's start right away, and let me just tell you that, of course, before we dive into strumming and making faster switches between chords, the prerequisite is for you to have memorized the chords you will be using inside a song or a strumming pattern. This will not work if you haven't got your chords down. So let's suppose my strumming pattern consists of a C chord and a G chord. You really have to memorize those chords first. Okay, so let's suppose you have, and let's move on. So my first tip for you in this lesson is to focus only on one hand. Usually, beginner guitar students focus on too many things at once while they're learning a new song or a new strumming pattern. So what I tell my students is to calm down and then focus on only one thing at a time. So here's what I mean. So let's suppose you're strumming, all right, and you want to switch from the C to the G. What students do is that once they've formed the C chord and they started strumming, they try to focus on the right hand in order to stay in time. And then whenever the G comes around, they start looking at the fretting hand in order to finger a good, G. And then they realize that, oh, I lost track of, time and I'm not playing the correct rhythm. So they start focusing on the right hand. And this is some kind of distraction and it's kind of overwhelming. So I tell my students, all right, let's pick one hand and let's just focus on that. So for example, let's just focus on forming good chords no matter what I'm doing in my picking hand. Okay, so I suppose we have 4 beats on C and then 4 beats on C. I tell them, all right, let's start playing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only focus on putting the G here and don't care about what's happening with the right hand for now. All right, so that way they will be able to switch faster between the chords. Or I tell them to focus on the picking hand and focus on the rhythm they're playing and the pattern they're doing and try to stick to the rhythm and don't stop no matter what's happening with the left hand. Meaning if I don't finger the correct chord or I get some buzzing or muffled strings, I don't care because all I want is a good rhythm from the right hand. So this is what I mean, focusing on one thing at a time. All right, so I'm focusing on the rhythm here. See, now the rhythm is good, but the chords are bad. Once I got the rhythm down, I can start focusing on the chords or vice versa. So that's my first tip for you here. Don't try to do too much or too many things at once. Separate the focus. All right, now tip number 2. Tip number 2 is basically a follow-up to tip number 1. The guideline here is that the picking hand doesn't wait for the fretting hand. It needs to keep moving no matter what's happening with my left hand in this case. So here's what I mean. The rhythm should not stop at all, no matter what is happening. Even if I forgot the chord, even if I muted the strings, no matter what happens with the fretting hand, the rhythm does not stop, right? So here what I was trying to do is to keep the rhythm going and try to fix the chord as I go. This will oblige me to change in time. And this will also push you and push your boundaries to try and make fast chord changes. Because if you remain in your comfort zone and every single time we need to switch a chord, you need to take all the time in the world in order to change and then start strumming again, it's never gonna work. So in a way, by not stopping the right hand or the picking hand, you get out of your comfort zone, and that's what we need to do. First, it's gonna sound horrible, of course, but with repetitions and with time, it's gonna work out, I promise. Do you trust me? I know you do. So do this and do not worry. Keep practicing, keep practicing, keep practicing, and those chord switches are getting faster. Now, what I share with you today is only 2 simple tips from the many tips or the many tactics that we use with our students at guitarelevation.com. If you feel like you need more in-depth knowledge and you need more training and you need someone who can hold you accountable and hold your hand every step of the way, so don't hesitate to check out the website and see if the membership is a good fit for you. Alright guys, so practice well. I'll see you next time, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. Take care.